Hello, 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 everyone. It's Kim from K&RP here in southeastern Manitoba. We had a freezing rain morning out this morning. It is over now, but it is still cloudy and damp and kind of a miserable, damp, cold day. Thank you for my tea, honey. Um, Merry Christmas, Ron says. Um, Currently -1 Celsius, which means it is -7 with the wind chill factor, which means it's 30 degrees Fahrenheit, but it feels like 19 degrees with the wind chill factor. So it's a little bit of a chillier day. It's a cold damp, like I say. I'm glad I am inside, not outside, especially since we had the freezing rain warning. It is slippery out there. Okay, so in the description box below, I said use a 12 by 12 sheet of paper or an 8 by 8. So I pulled out some 12 by 12 sheets of paper. All I have is Christmas paper, which is okay. It is Christmas time, but we could use this for any kind of letter we want to do. I also suggested doing 8 by 8. So I pulled some, hey, welcome, welcome. It's snowing with big flakes. Yeah. Nice to see you, Sherry. Merry Christmas, hun. I also figured you could use 8 by 8 pieces of paper. I have not tried this yet. So this is what we're going to experiment with. And the other thing I was thinking is if we just took a regular 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper and we turned it into a square, we could use that as well. So what we're doing today is these Victorian letter pocket things. So when you open it up, you have this lovely little thing in the center, and you pull it, and you've got your whole sheet of paper to do a letter on. But it folds up. This is the. I watched the video for this for over an hour trying to figure out this fold, but I've got it now. And then you just fold it up and tuck it back in. And hey, Anne, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this too. I think it's going to be a blast. I think it's good. Sorry, I just got a message from one of my kids. Okay, nothing too important. Okay, so as I say, I did this out of a 12 by 12 sheet. I haven't tried it on an 8 by 8, and I figured we could figure out how to do it out of an 8.5 by 11. We'll just cut it into a square. Just in case you don't have these big sheets. Merry Christmas, Anne. Welcome, welcome. Nice to see you. So let's cut this into a square so that we've got the various ones to play with. And I'll do it step by step for each, showing you how I've done this. You do need a ruler. Heavens forbid, Kim's going to be measuring. Cringe now. Could take us a while. Okay, so let's cut these into a square. And we know how we used to do this in grade school. Is you just kitty corner. And we're just going to use scissors and cut it. If you have a cutter, by all means, use your cutter. I'm doing it like this because there could be some of us that don't have the toys that we've got, and they would like to do this too. Okay, so I'm going to cut a square out of this one. So it's reasonably square, right? Like, not too bad. I didn't. Okay, so this is from the 8. Let's write on it what it was. 8.5 by 11 cut square. Okay, so we know that one. And then we've got these, and I'm just going to use this side of this one, and this is an 8-inch square. Sometimes you can get goodness, scrapbook paper pads that are 8-inch square, and you can get the 6-inch ones. I don't have a 6-inch happening. I don't know how that would work. It might be too small. We'll see what the 8.5 or the 8-inch one looks like, so that we could figure out if the 6-inch would actually be a bonus. But I'm thinking these will tuck nicely into journals. Great way just to shove them under the tree. Hey, Belinda, welcome, welcome. Put them under the tree. I quickly showed Jean after the live on Friday, and she used them for, she made a bunch to use as tags on the gift presents for the kids. So, Merry Christmas, Belinda. Okay. So I have an 8-inch square. This one, I guess, would be 8.5 because I used the 8.5 piece of paper. And then I've got the 12-inch. I'm going to leave the red side down because I don't know if my camera is going to go really fuzzy with all the white. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to measure. We all know how much I like to measure. So I saw a very, very cute trick. This one will be easy because it's a 12-inch. We just know that we need to do it in 4-inch blocks. So we'll move the scissors because we don't need those now. Out of the way. Move the mouse over. So I watched a woodworking video, and he was showing an easy way to figure out the thirds, because we need it in thirds, right? And you don't want to do the math. I could do the math. I could use a calculator. I'm going to do it the way this gentleman did it. Show you how he did it so that you guys who don't have calculators and everything, we're going to do it in thirds. So what he did, we'll put the glasses on so that I can actually see the numbers. So you put where it starts at one side, and you put the other one on the other side to a number that is divisible by 3, right? So kitty corner like this, it's not exactly kitty corner, but this angle, I did it from 0 to the 9. So we know that every 3 inches gets a fold, right? So that should be 3 equal parts, right? So let's just make this mark go this way. And this mark. The reason I'm scribbling on this is so that you guys can see. Okay? So that gives us 3 equal sections, supposedly. This is the experiment. So now we're just going to draw a straight line. If you have a quilting ruler so that you can line things up, that would probably be the best way. And I'm going to mark it with a pencil because, I didn't get it right on the mark. We'll see. Right on the mark. Need it right on the mark. I'm going to redo this one because I don't feel that it's right on the mark. No. Okay, so now the thing is that we have to fold it along those lines. So if you've got a bone folder or a scoreboard, use your scoreboard. I do not have that. So I am going to put my ruler down and fold it on that mark. Because we don't have all those fancy, I'm not sure where exactly this line is. This is going to be the rough part about doing this. Oh, just a little much because I didn't get right on the mark. Look how nice that went. That is genius, Anne. It is genius. I love it. You don't have to worry about fractions. You don't have to look at all the 64ths and all that stuff on your ruler. Booyah! I love it. Okay, so we've got to fold it that way. We have to do the same thing in the other direction. So We did it this way, so now we'll do it this way. From the, oh, that's the way I just did it. We have to do it this way. Sorry, guys. We do it on both sides because we need it in 9 equal sections. 9 equal sections. So we need the 3. You know, maybe if I used a thinner mark, that would work. At the 3 and at the 6. Oh, probably much better. Probably much better. Didn't quite get the mark. All right. And so now we have to fold this into the thirds. Isn't that awesome? So now we've got the 9 proper sections on this one. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All the same size. Love it. Okay. So we can do that with the 8-inch square as well. You just have to pull it at a bigger angle to get it to the 9 mark. I like this. Mark it at the 6 and at the 3. And then we're going to just do this way because it'll just be faster. Again, do it so that it's at the start of the ruler and at the 3 divisible by 3 number. And we're going to make the folds on this one. Yeah, I'm using a ruler, guys. Look at me. Isn't that wonderful? Hugs to you, Sherry. Hugs to you. And then we'll do it this way. I guess the thing too is making sure that it's kind of straight, right? We've got to be as straight as possible this way. And I'm just using scrap paper for these guys because it's an experiment. This one we know works, but I want to show you that really cool folding thing. Just a little bit. Okay. So now we will do the 12-inch one. And that is easy. But like I say, not everybody has 12-inch paper. You know, some just have smaller papers. So this one, I'm just going to cheat, pull it this way. And I'm just going to use my quilting ruler because I can. And we need it 4 inches. I do not have a scoreboard. I mean, you can always use like a card and run it along to make the crease as well, right? Sharpen it, right? But anyway, so now we're going to do all 4 sides with the 4 inches around. Oops. Slid just a little bit. It's okay. You guys are going to end up doing this your way anyway. Whatever works most comfortably for you. If you have a scoreboard, I'm sure that you can just go zoop, zoop, done. And I know that a lot of you do not have a quilting ruler. You would just use a regular ruler, make your marks. I am just trying to go a little bit faster so that you guys can see what's happening. All right. So we are going to put this away. And fold it. Now's when you would use the bone folder to do your creases. Make them good and solid. Uh-oh. That one looks like it's over that line a little bit. I'm just going to pull it so that it's just under that line. This one too. It's hard to do when, it would be much easier with a scoreboard. So some of my folds are going to have some ugly marks on them. Look at this. This paper isn't exactly square. Huh. Go figure. Okay. So now they should all be in their 9 sections, right? Now there's a lot of folding involved. Are we up for it? I hope we're up for it. So we're going to start by going corner to corner. Line it up as nice as you can. And we're going to do it the other way, corner to corner. Yeah, see, I got some ugly folds here. It's okay. I'm just showing you. We're going to do this one corner to corner. This is the 8-inch square one. You can use double-sided paper. You could use painty papers. Just don't use cardstock. And this one already has one corner to corner because that's how we made this square, right? So we just have to fold it in the opposite direction. Okay, so now we've got a big X and the 9 squares. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take each corner and we're going to do it so that we have 4 inches around it. We're going to the corner of the outside squares. Does that make sense to you? Are you guys keeping up with me? Am I going too fast? Is anybody playing along? You're keeping up? Awesome. Okay, so we're going to do this on all 4 corners. So that's 1. Again, we've got the 4-inch square at that corner that we're not. That's 2. Three. And 4. Okay, so now we have all these crazy folds. Can you see them? There's a lot of folding. I'm going to quickly do these ones. because we have to see what they look like on smaller pages. Again, I am leaving the 4 outside corners. Am I on screen? Can you see what I'm doing? This one has all those folds as well. Except for, let's move this out of the way so let's do this one. So we're going to this corner. Leave the corners alone. Leave them alone. And 4. Now, this next part is the hardest part. I'm going to do it on this one. So you see where we have all these 4 center squares with an X through it, right? We have to fold those, just that square, so that it goes from the left bottom corner up to the right corner. Does that make sense to you? And we have to crease that really, really tight. Did we get that? Do you understand that one? And then we're going to do it on all 4 sides, from the bottom left corner to the upper right corner. And we're going to crease that tight. That one confuses you? Okay. So we've got this corner, and we've got this one with the X in it. Right? Now, we are taking the one fold of the X. So from the bottom left corner to the upper right corner. Am I backwards on the screen, maybe? And we're going to make a really sharp fold on that one. This is the one that made me watch that video probably an hours at a time, because there were no directions on the video. They just kind of showed the thing. Do you have it now, Anne? Bottom left to the upper right. I mean, you could go the other way if it's what's more comfortable for you, but we have to make sure that so it's going to be like this, right? So you've got this, and this one's kind of. So we're going to do that on all 4 of the sides, from the bottom left to that corner. And like I say, that's the trickiest part of this silly thing. And you got to crease it really tight. And the reason we're doing it so that they all have to go in one direction, because that's what gives us that nice little pinwheel thing in the center. So now if you look at it, you can see the definite angles coming off the center square. Do you want me to highlight the one that I just folded so that you know which one to do, people? I can easily do that for you if you like. I will do that. I'll take this green marker and I will draw it. I will draw these. These are the ones that you want folded all in one direction and sharp. Do we have that now? Does that help? Let me know when you're done, Anne, so that you think you've got it. Okay, so now we're going to take all those And we're going to do this. Does that make sense? We're pulling them so that this is the confusing part, right? So we've got them kind of overlapping. This is the tough one, so that they go like that. So each of the outside corner squares are the outside of the paper, and these ones are the center. That's the tough part of this, right? So it has to be folded this way and to the center, this way and to the center, this way to the center, and then when you close it, it goes like this. That is the most confusing part of this whole thing, is that getting this center pinwheel so that when we pull it, it opens, right? Yes, no? We'll do this one. Yeah, big tangled mess. I get that. I really understand that. Okay. So we've got this so that it's really nice and crisp. So we have to have it so that it will go like that. Flat on the center. Make sure that they all do that fold first. And then you can just kind of push them all in and they fall into place. Does that help? I don't know how to explain that better. Do you need me to come closer? I can put the stool up on the thing and try again. Show you again. Do you need me to show you again, Anne? I can gladly. I can open it back up with the line showing, certainly. It is a little bit complicated. Like I say, I watched the video of the person. I can't even remember who did it. I was on Instagram, and you know how, well, I don't know about you, but I'll just sit and watch video after video after video because they're short, and it's great for my low attention span. Okay. Okay, so this, now we're going to fold it so that it goes like this, Anne. Oh, let's do it on screen. Hey, Dana, welcome, welcome. We are doing these Victorian letter things today. Merry Christmas, hun. Okay, I'm going to put the stool up here and I'm going to do it so that you can see better. Well, maybe. I can't get the whole thing in. What do I need to move? The mushroom. Mr. Mushroom's got to go over there. Our yes men have to go over here. What else is in my way here? Okay, so now I'm really close. Okay, and so you're going to take this one and you're going to fold it in. Yeah, I know. I didn't know how I got there the first time either. So you get it to that point and you can do this. This, right? So you're there, Anne? So now we're just going to take these and we're going to fold them into the center. Fold them over. And then this one, we tuck it in, not there because it won't stay stuck, right? It has to go underneath this one, right beside it. And it goes like that. It just takes a couple of times, Anne. And then we've got it, and it's, you open it up, and you pull it. See, once it's been folded and done it, you have a little square packet. Nice, nice, nice. This is the one that you've got to remember. I keep forgetting to tuck it under, right? Oh, I'm glad that the lines helped. Okay, so let's try this. I've got these ones folded. This is one that we took just from a regular piece of copy paper. And we're going to see if we can get this one to do it now. I want to see how big this would be, right? This is our experiment. Because sometimes we just don't have that 12 by 12 sheet of paper. But I think these would be lovely little stuffers into Christmas stockings or in Happy Mail or... Okay, so this one obviously I didn't fold as tightly as I could, but it still worked. And so again, pull it open and you've got something to write a letter on. Now the person who did this had the inside decorated. Let's see, I'll just get it back to that pinwheel in the center and I will explain. They had little birds painted on or stamped on each of these little pieces. And then when you opened it up, they had like a framework around it. Oh, my nails are yucky. Sorry, guys. But this works. This works. This size will not hold a gift card, obviously. Here's the little card I was using. Nope. Too small for a gift card. So you would have to use a 12 by 12. But that would work for a couple of dollars folded up inside it. Or you could write a letter of, reasons that why I love you. We could do these for Valentine's Day. I think those would make great Valentine's Day letters. As I say, Jean is using them for tags on her presents. And she's tucking a little something in it. And here's the 8-inch square. So we've got all the folds done. I just have to do these middle ones nice and tight. Hey, Pam, welcome, welcome. How are you feeling? So we're doing these interesting Victorian letter pocket things. Good, good, good. I'm glad you're feeling better. Okay, so it's a little bit more difficult with the copy paper because it's flimsier. And the print isn't helping me with my folding. It's confusing me a bit. Okay, this one, I didn't press that down good enough, obviously. Guess that would be the easiest way to do it, right? Take that and really fold it hard. Okay, so that's a simple way to do it. Fold it hard that way. Take it and fold those things. Okay, so this one and this one. This is the fiddly part, right, guys? My brain isn't working. There. There. Nope. There. Goodness. This one. And this one. These two work. This one. Oh, we're just having a mess here. This one. And that one. There we go. There we go. That's the confusing part of it. And again, an 8-inch square. Definitely, I would say a scrapbook paper weight is more conducive to having this work nicer. Copy paper weight is not great. And I certainly wouldn't try it with cardstock with all the folds that you have to do and how crisp they have to be. There we go. There we go. That's an 8-inch. So that gives you about just under 3 inches, 3 3/4 inches approximately. So there we have it. We've got these lovely Victorian envelopes, letters. Anybody want me to go over it again? I'll do it really quick recap. So this is a 12 by 12. We need it in 9 equal sections. So we do it so that there's 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches, right? So we have to have it so that it'll fold this way and this way, right? Okay, we've got those. Then we do the kitty corners both ways. Then we take these corners and we fold it to the center. All 4, or not to the center, to the bottom of the outside corner edge. Then we've got all these crazy folds. So we want to sharpen this one fold here, bottom left corner to the upper right corner. Make them really sharp folds. I don't know an easier way to fold this so that it would be. And then we have to futz with it until it will fold nicely like this. And as I say, the person who I copied this from had cute little birds on these. So that's why I'm thinking if you use a double-sided scrapbook paper, it can be very cute. Then we fold them in 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one gets tucked under the one right beside it so that it locks it into place. So they're simple once you get the hang of it. It's the measuring, right? But we figured out if you don't have a scoreboard and if you don't want to do the math, we did the trick that the construction dudes do. We take a ruler, we put it at one edge here, and we at an angle to the other edge, and a number that's equidistant, like it's multiple of 9 or 3, right? So I go from here and I do it to the 9, and then we mark it at the 6 and the 3, and that gives us 3 equal sections. And we have to do that both sides to get those. Saves on the math, saves on the brain. And then we make the folds on each of those lines. And that should give us 9 equal sections. Simple, easy for doing thirds. If you don't want a brain, because we all know how much I like to measure and calculate. So that gives us all just makes things simpler, right? Of course, I'm in that little bit of a hurry, so it's not quite as exact as it should be, but it still worked. Okay, so we've got that. Now we do the kitty corners. A lot of folding. And then we do these. Oh, I missed one. You have to do that all 4 sides, all 4 corners. I think I've got them all now. No, this one's still not done. Goodness. Goodness. Okay, so now we've got all. Nope, this one. I guess I did those other ones twice. Sorry. Take each corner to the 3/4 mark. Fold them to the 3/4 mark. Then, these are the ones that we have to do a sharp crease in and have them pointing the fold out towards us. Oh, not that far. Yep, that far. So what happens when I've got a paper that's doodled on? So now this crease, we have to fold it so that it's strongly facing you. So it just seems to work if you turn the paper upside down and fold that crease. You know what? It would be even better if I got it right on the crease that I'm supposed to have it on. Goodness. That's better. That's better. And you're just going across that third. You don't want to do this side. Just there. And you do that for all 4 of them. Sharp crease. Yeah, that would probably help too, Anne. And then you just play until you get your pinwheel thing happening. This is the worst part of it, is getting these folded in. So then it looks like a pinwheel, right? Make sure these are folded down. These get folded in. So if you're paying attention, you could probably get away with copy paper. This one didn't work out quite as bad. So this one then gets tucked into this one here underneath, and it locks it together. Oh, that glare. Is that better? Then I'm in a shadow. I don't know where I can do it where I don't have a shadow. Let me turn that other big light on. Big light. That should help with the shadow. Yeah, the 12 by 12 definitely seemed easier. But like I said, that was scrapbook paper, so it's a little bit heavier. This is just regular copier paper, right? So again, you take it, and it opens up, and you can write a letter. But once this is, it's just getting the folds really nice and tight that is makes it easier. Yeah, but wasn't it like into a triangle? We had triangle notes when we passed notes. Can't remember how that was done. So yeah, it was very similar. It just kind of locked together. Yeah, I remember getting triangle notes like that. One of the ladies I used to work with actually did that with her grocery bags. She folded them up and made them so that they were that kind of a triangle, so that she just had all this bin full of grocery bags. Oh, the plastic ones folded up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So let's do a step by step instruction, right? Let's do what? Divide paper into 9 squares, right? And I'm just putting that into 9 squares because it depends on the size of paper you've got. You will have to measure so that it is 9 squares. 2, fold corner to corner both ways. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Right? So we've got it. We've got our nine sections. And we fold it corner to corner. Right? Then we take each corner and we fold it 3/4 of the way. Does that make sense? 3/4 of the way in, so you have that very outside square. Should I just say to base of corner squares. Does that make sense? So that's the point. This would be the base. So you fold each of the corners in 3/4 of the way. Right? Let's just draw a picture. So we take this corner and we do it to there. Does that make sense? Fold corner to X. And then this one would be from here to here. And this one could be from there to there. And let's do a star to there. Does that help? So then you will have a paper that has the 9. These are all fold lines. And then we've got the fold line across here. And now we've got fold lines like this. Oh. Wait a minute. Because, where's this one? Oh, we've got these. I forgot these ones. Uh-oh. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. We have, sorry. These and these. Then if we fold this one into there, we've got this one, this one, this one, this one. There we go. Those are all the fold lines. So then these are the ones that we need to crease really hard. And I have no idea how to explain that final move. Suggestions, anyone? So those are the ones that we fold really, really sharp. And they kind of overlap. Last one to have the diagram. This one, come on. Okay. And then fold in like this. I don't know how to draw that. No, see, I've already got them backwards. this. I can't draw this. Brain's not working. So we've got the center. And that's the dark green, right? Those are the dark green edges. That's straight, that's straight, that's straight, that's straight. Angle, 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 angle. Better? Does that help? I don't know how to get that all on screen. Those of you who do origami, etc., if there is like a universal explanation for how to fold that, I would love to know it, because I don't do origami, so I just, fold sharp towards you. That's all I know. The green lines. The green lines. Anyway, that is what I wanted to show you guys today. I hope it wasn't too frustrating. I hope you guys kind of caught it. I hope that you get a chance to try it, because I think they're lovely little packages. When they're done. I really do think they're cute. Be great for writing a letter. Just leave these sections, the ones that are showing. Do something different in them. Don't write on those, because they will show, right? And you'll have writing on them. So that's about it. I have nothing else exciting today. I thought these were very exciting. It's that last fold, a fan fold. I don't know. Like, to me, a fan fold is where you go. Let me grab a piece of other paper. A fan fold, to me, is this one, where you go this way and this way, like an accordion fold. Isn't that a fan fold? I don't know. I don't know. So I thought that was a fan fold, because when we did this as kids, out of big long papers, we had little fans, right? So I don't know. I'm sure that I'm hoping that somebody will be watching and be able to give me a clue. Like I say, it was an IG video that I watched. I watched it, I don't know how many times. It was like a 30-second kind of thing, because all they had was like this, and they opened it. And that's all they showed, right? They didn't even show how to close it. They started like that. They opened it. They were cute little birdies. And then they did this. And then they did this. So they didn't even fold these back in. Maybe they did. No, they mustn't have, because it took me a while to figure out how to tuck that one under to keep it closed. So I watched it over and over and over. I thought they were absolutely wonderful, so I had to try it. And this is that this part is what took me a very, very long time. Hey Malia, Merry Christmas, hun. Nice to see you. So, like I say, I I just thought they were wonderful. Just was teaching my hack after watching an IG video on how to do these, except that they didn't have instructions on there. They just had them closed and opened them up. They had cute little birdies on these sections. Just open them up, and then so it took me a long time to figure that silly center part out. But once they're done, once you've got it figured, it's really simple to do it. They are cool. They are cool. I showed Jean how to do this after we played Pictionary on Friday. And so she made a bunch of them. And she's using them as the tags on her kids' Christmas presents. But I wanted to do them so I could, for gift cards. And, write a cute little letter in it. But this part here is the shoot me now part. It takes a while to, we can fold it this way, but to get them to overlap nice and go in is what I watched a bazillion and one times to do that. So Anne managed to catch on. And then when you fold them, you have to tuck that one underneath the one right next to it so that it stays closed. But I thought they were lovely. And I figure to do them out of some book pages, they will tuck so nicely into journals. So I did them out of copy paper. The copy paper is a little flimsier, but it's still doable. I didn't do those in order. There's 1, 2, 3. No. Oh, goodness. Fold, fold, fold. Tuck into the first one that you did. There we go. Anyway, this was an 8-inch piece of paper. And then this one, I believe, I just took a regular piece of copy paper and I folded it to chop it into a square. They didn't have those printers at our local Staples. I got one very similar, and I'm loving it as well. I didn't want to wait for Amazon. And it was more expensive at Amazon. Staples happened to have it on sale, so I got it for under $200. So I'm happy. But you're right. It only holds like 35 papers, and it's only the back feed. Or, well, mine is anyway. So how much ink, like how much printing do you do, Malia? And have you had to refill your inks yet? Just curious, because I've been printing a lot of my master boards. See, that would make a cute one. It's a Canon something. I don't know. Can't remember. Yes, I like the little windows so I can see the ink levels. It's a lovely printer. It really is. So now I have to ask, Anne, do you think I explained it well enough so that people who are watching the rerun will catch it. Did I go slow enough? Did I explain well enough? I need to know these things. Yeah, I think mine's a 3270 as well. I don't know. What does mine say it is? It doesn't say. I will have to check. Okay, thanks, Anne. Just in case, I want to make sure that I'm not just going blah, 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 blah. Done. This is how you do it. You made yourself a little step by step. Excellent. Excellent. So, you guys all ready for Christmas? Are you doing anything exciting? We are eating junk food and doing jigsaw puzzles, which is kind of, we started that yesterday. You also have an Epson? Hi, Pam. Welcome. Merry Christmas, hun. Making icing? Oh, no. Awesome. We are not seeing any family tomorrow since we celebrated much earlier this month. It just feels really weird to me not having to rush and make, you know, last minute things. Yeah, wants to pee from the back instead of the bottom. Yeah, I had an Epson that was like that too. It's almost like you have to tell it every time you're using it which tray to use. Otherwise, it just makes its own idea, makes its own mind up. You're going to your husband's parents tomorrow? That's nice. That's nice. Do you do kind of like a potluck where you just make one or two of the dishes to take along to contribute to the meal, or does your mother in law do the whole thing? I know I sure appreciate delegating a lot of the work to my kids. And the cool thing too is because we all make homemade soup, so the one daughter that does the turkey keeps the carcass, the other daughter who does the ham keeps the bones for pea soup. With your family, lots of people? Oh, I'm sure. I used to do a big Christmas when my sister's kids were all at home. She had, well, her husband's four and her one. And then I would have everybody over here. Yours can print on both sides? I don't think mine prints on both sides. I think I have to refeed it. I'm not sure. My old printer, I could print on both sides. I loved it. And I think big Christmases with lots of other kids there is important for kids experiencing the closeness of family. I think it's important. When I was little, we would go to one of my grandmothers. Well, one lived in England, so the one that was here, and we would all be there. And so the cousins were very close growing up. But once my grandmother died, everybody stopped going. Like, we didn't do the big family dinners anymore. So all the cousins grew apart because we never saw each other. It is very weird how prices vary, Anne. It really is. I found the Canon very expensive on Amazon as well, though. Staples had it so much cheaper, and I could just go in and pick it up. Okay, okay. Yeah, mine was about that too, Anne. As I say, the one that I ended up getting was under $200. So I thought that was a great bargain. Best Buy. See, I didn't even check Best Buy. It's funny how not living in the city, you don't think of those under, you know, um, those other stores. When we lived in the city, I would definitely check prices everywhere. But now it's like, I don't think. I just, it's amazing. It's amazing. So, I'm curious, um, is there one traditional dish that you always make sure that you have for Christmas? Um, Aside from like the turkey, that makes sense. 149. Mine was 199, but that's Canadian. Potato salad. Hi, Melinda. Welcome. Merry Christmas, honey. Potato salad. Nice. Chicken and dumplings. I love chicken and dumplings. Do you guys do turkey? Like, I know you guys do turkey on Thanksgiving, but do you also do it at Christmas as well? See, we do turkey at Christmas and Thanksgiving, but our Thanksgiving is much farther apart than your Thanksgiving and Christmas. Turkey stuffing, gravy, mashed potatoes, green onions, and relish tray. Yeah, prices are very different in Canada. Pizzelles, but they don't usually make it to Christmas. That's no turkey for Christmas. Wow, Pam, that's crazy expensive. Ham was New Year's main course. Ham for sandwiches. Steak and fish. Okay, I'm making lasagna. It's just Ron and I. Yeah, we when we do both Christmas and Thanksgiving, the staples are turkey, ham, mashed potatoes. I like doing German cabbage, like the sweet and sour red cabbage, cabbage rolls with green cabbage, rouladen, which is the beef rolled with bacon and onions, meatballs. Yeah, a lot of meat. They're making ham. Nice, very nice. Cranberry sauce. Yes. Green beans. Sometimes raw veggies, rolls. Yeah, so much food. You roasted a chicken, prime rib, doing a ham this year. Nice, Malia. That's nice. Is it just you and your husband and kids? See, the thing is that I had my traditional stuff from my family, right? So that was my grandparents were from the Ukraine on one side and Britain on the other side. So it was um, pierogies and cabbage rolls and lots of stuff. My mom's side would do like a roast beef. So I'm not doing a roast beef in amongst everything else. And then Ron's family is from Germany. So that's where the rouladen and stuff comes from. So my kids growing up had that both, go to this grandparents have this, go to this grandparents have that. If we were all having dinner here, then everybody would bring whatever. And so my kids grew up with all these darn dishes. And now it's tradition, right? So we have to make all this food. I'm just so thankful I've got 3 teenage boys now. Okay. 5 pounds potato salad. Awesome. You do enjoy the Ukrainian food? Yeah. For the army, not true. She was never near the army. I've always cooked big too, Anne. Yeah, Polish Ukrainian food, yes. Sauerkraut, the pelishka with the sauerkraut, like the dough-filled buns. My goodness. I don't know how to cook for 2 either. I have no idea how to cook for 2. Yeah, ate at dinner. You had it for months. See, it was just my sister and I, and my mom was British, so she never really cooked big. But the Ukrainian grandmother had 6 kids, 6 kids, so she cooked big, right? You made homemade pierogies once? Yeah, never started at 11 o'clock at night because you're going to be up all night making them. Don't ask how I know. Yeah, you learn how to freeze food quickly, definitely. Definitely. So then, and also because when Ron and I were first together, we were the only couple with a place. So all our unmarried friends gathered at our place. I would go through a 2-pound can of coffee in like 3 days, drank a lot of coffee, ate a lot of food. So I was always cooking for more than just us. And then having uh, my kids and all the other neighborhood kids, it just, plus I had a restaurant. I don't know how to cook small. I just don't. Just don't. And now that we're older and we're eating even smaller portions, when I made stroganoff yesterday for supper, and I put 3 meals in the freezer for us. I probably could have cut it into like 5. It's yeah, I love freezers. I don't do as much canning anymore because I have to watch my salt intake. So I find freezing works so much better for me. When I make salsa, I do it so that I can freeze it. Pickles, I freeze. That way I can use much less salt. Freezing is so much less work than canning. It really is. It really is. I learned a cool thing that those double stuffed baked potatoes, you can freeze those. I freeze stuff with noodles in it, Malia. Why don't you freeze it if it has noodles in it? Because when I did this stroganoff, the noodles are in it, and I freeze it. And I've never know, and I freeze, chicken noodle soup. Why don't you don't like noodles that have been frozen? Oh, okay. Noodles always turn to mush. I found that the trick to that is you have to let the dish thaw before you heat it. That makes sense. That makes sense. That makes lots of sense. Well, don't freeze like huge portions. Try just a small portion, right? Test it to see if it works for you. Because I mean, I freeze lasagna. I freeze the stroganoff. Um, I freeze what we call Italian stew. What else has pasta in it? Chicken noodle soup, macaroni and cheese. I freeze macaroni and cheese. Ron doesn't eat macaroni and cheese, so when I make macaroni and cheese, cause whatever, or tuna noodle casserole, I freeze that. Perfect, Malia. Yeah. And the nice thing, Anne, is well, I've got an air fryer. I have all the kitchen toys. I love playing in the kitchen as much as I love this, right? So you have to let them thaw before you do them in the air fryer, but the peels get so lovely crunchy in the air fryer. Right. Some sort of liquid, definitely. But I mean, I've even been freezing like breakfast wraps and pizza bun gunk wraps. Anything that I can make in bulk and throw in the freezer so I can have a few days without having to cook, or, where I only have to cook one meal. It's a bonus. I love reheating foods. And this way you don't get tired of things either, right? Like when you make a big pot of soup, you know darn well you're going to be eating that for like 3 or 4 days. Exactly. I love bulk cooking. I really love bulk cooking. Oh, yeah. My husband doesn't cook, so I don't have that problem. He'll reheat, but I mean, he doesn't use the air fryer for reheating other than pizza. But I love like making like breakfast wraps and that kind of thing and then cooking them in the air fryer. The tortillas get really nice and crunchy. Exactly, Malia. Exactly. Much more so than the microwave, I find. Oh, that makes sense, Melinda. Excuse me. So, do you double cook, Melinda? Like, do you have to do like meat and your own food? Like, do you play restaurant? The, those small ones that have the little lids, those little rectangular three cuppers or whatever? Man, 3 meals a night. Oh my. Wow. Oh, the round ones. Okay. That's an interesting thing. I've never had anything cooked like with a pan inside my instant pot yet, but I love my instant pot too. Sounds like my house too when I've got kids home, because for some reason or other, somebody's always on a weird diet, or, they're having food issues. So I'm often cooking restaurant style too. I don't blame you, Melinda. I really don't blame you for that. Seriously. If you have to do three at a time each day, that's a lot. 8 inch. You took off the cardboard? Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't put the cardboard lid in the Instant Pot or the oven either. But that's a good idea. I might have to do that, because sometimes you just want that casserole. Do you put, I guess then you put water in and then you use one of those rack things? Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Do you do lasagna that way, Anne? 'Cause as I say, I'm going to make lasagna for tomorrow, but I was going to do it in my loaf pans so I could put a couple in the freezer, because normally when I make a big tray of lasagna, I chop it up and put it in the freezer. But I figured this way, if I did them in small portions, it would work much easier for me. And those definitely, I don't have round ones that would fit in my Instant Pot. Microwave that works as an air fryer. My sister has one of those. She uses it in her camper. Tried the large little pan, cooked it, cooled it. Oh, that would work too. Yeah, I'm thinking though with the lasagna, because I only make it a couple of times a year, if that, maybe once a year, maybe once every 2 years. I don't make it very often. Um, so I figured if I did it in the loaf pan, then we would get probably 2 meals out of it. So I freeze my burgers. When you make hamburgers, I flatten it into a rectangular cookie thing with a lip, and then I cut it into rectangles or squares, and I freeze it and then break it apart and um, throw it in a plastic bag in the freezer. But I haven't done lasagna slices. Thanks, Belinda. You have a very Merry Christmas too, and do enjoy your deviled eggs. I love deviled eggs. 4 days a week. Okay, that's awesome, man. That is awesome. It's always nice to have food to go. Now you're going to make deviled eggs, Anne? All right. Well, thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate you being here on Christmas Eve. I know how busy you guys are, getting ready for the holiday tomorrow. I just figured that I had to show you guys these very cool things, just in case you have to do some last minute stocking stuckers or whatever. I appreciate you guys for being here. Thanks to the rewatchers, the run watching people, folks. Thanks to you guys for being here. I will be back on Boxing Day. Oh, thanks for hanging out with me while you're rapping. That's an awesome thing. It's hard to rap when you're chatting, though, hun. But I get it. I get it. Take care, everybody. Big hugs. Merry Christmas. Season's greetings. Happy holidays. Blessed be y'all. Take care. Thanks for being here. Bye. Finding the mouse. Stay safe. Please don't drink and drive. Bye now.